Hello, everyone. I apologize ahead of time because I was teaching 16 hours this weekend and I'm a bit tired, but something important is again occurring. This year's probably most relevant placement is going to become exact on the 18th of October. And let's take a look at the chart for London. It's easier for me to talk about the situation if I can see the chart. As you can see, on October the 18th at 9:27 a.m. London time, this is the chart, and what's happening is the following. The North Node Aries conjunction in Aries is exact, again, to almost to the minute, and the Sun is exactly opposite at that point, at that time, opposite Eris, and on the South Node. Now, let's take the chart apart. Let's see the angles for the London chart because it's very revealing. A Scorpio is the Scorpio, we have a Scorpio ascendant with Ceres rising, spot on the ascendant, the nurturing principle, and Jupiter, big luck, big things, big blown up things are on the is on the descendant in Taurus. And of course, the descendant is the official partner, but also open enemies. So that is something that we need to watch. And then on the IC, you have Saturn. And on the midheaven, you have the Juno, Black Moon Lilith, and Trans-Pluto conjunction. As you can see, a couple of days ago, Venus was part of the four-fold conjunction. Now it's already separating. It's no longer a conjunction. But Juno just moved into Virgo. So we have a number of celestial objects at 0 degrees. Saturn, Sedna, and Juno are all at 0 degrees, and the Black Moon at 0 degrees Aries. So those are the highlights of the chart. And as you can see, Mercury is very close to the Sun. So this actually, Lilith, the asteroid Lilith, is a little bit farther away, but there will be a conjunction. So again, you see a chart where the Liliths are relevant. And as I said, the Liliths don't carry aggression. They carry power, but the aggression doesn't come from the Liliths at all. The aggression comes from elsewhere. Now let's take a look at this particular placement here. And as you can see, Mercury is in an applying conjunction to the nodes, to the node and the Sun. And this is not a finger of fate. It's not closing, actually. We do have a Neptune Aries North Node semi-sextile, but we don't have the other side of it with Uranus, and Uranus-Neptune is not in a sextile position. So this is really an open double and triple. So it's not a finger of fate, really. The energy is leaking out. But the multiple inconjuncts are actually at the apex of the Sun and the South Node Mercury triple conjunction. So that's the apex. That's where the energy is flowing. The Uranus Sun is still very, very tight. It's already separating, but it's still there. So change or chaos is still a question. Of course, this is a bidirectional quincunx, so we can hope for change. And yes, energies are shifting, actually. And then with the Neptune, the Sun Neptune, this is an applying. Okay, hold on a second. What did I do? This is what I said, that I'm going to do all kinds of stupid things. I apologize again, but I don't have very, very little time. And tomorrow I want to place this out or put this out for you to see, because maybe not tomorrow, but I won't have time for the next 2 days to actually make the video. So you have to bear with me. I try to concentrate a little bit more. So this is what you have here. The Neptune Sun is an applying quincunx. It is about how you can visualize things, and also it's clairvoyance. And Mercury Neptune is about how you can actually put these things into words. So here's a very funny occurrence, because usually you don't have a boomerang. You may have a finger of fate, but you don't have a boomerang because you don't have the opposition. Here there are two exact oppositions, the nodal axis by itself and the Sun Aries, and yet the finger of fate is not closing. So it's It's not happening actually. Okay. Here you have the transcendental objects, and something very relevant is occurring, because the Sun Mercury South Node triple conjunction is on two very bright and important stars, Spica or Spica, which is Alpha Virgo, 1.2 magnitude, and Arcturus, which is Alpha Boots, 0.2 magnitude. So very, very bright ones. And Spica or Spica is the reed shaft that she is holding, that the Celestial Virgin is holding, and it represents the potential for brilliance. And Arcturus is a fifth dimensional world where those souls who belong to very young children who suffered abuse, and as a result also a sort of sufferings and all sorts of abuses that resulted in death, are gathered and somehow healed. And this is exactly what was happening in the last couple of days. A lot of children died. They died horrible deaths. I can't understand why, how anyone in their right mind does such atrocities to children, and how anyone in their right mind can actually applaud this. This is something totally beyond me, and I can't even think about it, and I can't speak about it. But actually, those two bright stars are kind of embracing the Sun and the South Node Mercury conjunction. And on the Mercury, you have Aten and Galahad. Galahad is, of course, the knight in shining armor. Aten is the sun disk. Isis, another Egyptian figure. Aten, of course, is also Egyptian. In the sun disk in Egypt, this is how it was called. And then Isis is the mother goddess, who is also the sorceress, who is able to put together dissected things. So actually, Isis is some sort of answer to a Sedna issue, a Sedna problem. We could also look at it this way. And on the Sun South Node, you have Prometheus, Cerberus, and Arcturus. Prometheus is the Titan who knows before. He knows what's going to happen, and actually, this is like a foresight energy. And Cerberus, of course, is the gatekeeper of the underworld. So this is what is highlighted by the Sun. On the opposite side, on the North Node, Aries conjunction, we have Lachesis. Lachesis is the second of the fates. She's the middle fate, and she's the most important of the three fates, because she's the one who is actually measuring the threads, the fabric of life. And now it's on the North Node Aries conjunction, which is this year's one of the main karmic astrological features. It's very highlighting and very interesting that we now need to learn to fight for ourselves, for our values, for everything that is dear to us, under horribly changing and horribly drastically altering outward circumstances. The powers that be disrupt our whole world. This is programmed chaos. And on the other side, you have the Sun, which is illuminating what we are bringing in karmically, which is balance, which is negotiations, which is all kinds of cerebral and not physical attitude, and anything that belongs to diplomacy, to controlled balance, to discussions. This is what we have there. And on Neptune there's nothing, and on Uranus you have Minerva and Lempo. Minerva is again the goddess of wisdom, so it's a wisdom energy, and Lempo is a Finnish figure, a Finnish god who used to be a creator god for the Finnish nation. And then in the Roman Christian times, he became the devil. He became some sort of horrible thing. And this is what you see in the world stage, that big figures who used to be heroes and we applauded them, all of a sudden are turned into devils and negative energies. That's what's happening in the world. And I put a question mark here whether this could be actually interpreted as a dissolved tension. In the Budapest chart, we have an exact ground cross. Here we only have a T-square, and we also have a Thor's hammer, and the T-square and the Thor's hammer are linked with a semi-square. Let's take a look at the T-square first, at the apex of which is Sedna, creation through dissection. On the midheaven in the London chart, you have Juno and Black Moon. Juno means covenants and pacts and promises, and of course the first five, so the first lady, so someone who is committed in a relationship, and all sorts of relationship that are contracts and contracted, let's put it this way. And of course Black Moon Lilith is the third turning point of the Lilith myth, where she goes back into the Garden of Eden. This archetype reflects clairvoyance and also the willingness to rectify something, and it's on the midheaven in the London chart. On the IC you have Saturn, so the drab problems and issues, difficulties, burdens, baggages are in the homeland or in your family. This tension is further kind of fueled by Pallas Athena, which is at the apex of the Thor's hammer. You have the Sedna Saturn square, mutable square, and Pallas Athena is linked to Sedna in a way because both are in air signs. So actually you can hope that some sort of wisdom or wise decisions or wise negotiations are helping us to overcome this very, very difficult world situation. And there's another dissolution to the tension, which is Dark Moon Lilith. And Dark Moon Lilith here is the acceptance of the curse. So it means that that we will do whatever is necessary, and we don't care if the other party is actually putting a curse on us. We still will do what is necessary. And this made me think, actually, because what happened in Israel can't actually be understood on a normal level. And especially as a Hungarian, I can't understand what is happening. I can't understand why we in the EU are sponsoring terrorists. This is beyond me completely. I understand the heroic fight of the Palestinian nation. I understand everything, but I don't understand how you can kill children and torture children. This is something totally beyond me. And what is also beyond me, that you may know that we are the renitent members of the EU. We are up in arms every time they want to push something on us that we don't want, because it is totally alien from the way of life we like to live. And of course, we have a government who is fighting for these rights. So we are the black sheep of the EU at the moment, which I don't mind at all. Someone needs to be the black sheep, actually. And I don't know whether you are aware of or not, but our universities are excluded from the Erasmus program, which is the sponsoring of all kinds of university courses. We are excluded as a punishment, but the University of Gaza, which is run by Hamas, gets the funding. Now, just take a look at this piece of information and you will see what Dark Moon Lilith is doing here with the dissolution of tension. And here are the transcendental objects linked to this very tense configuration. You have on the MC Juno Black Moon, you have Merlin, Antigone, Prudencia, and Memnosine, and Regulus. Regulus is actually on Juno. The Black Moon is a little bit further in Virgo already. So you have a magician, a heroine who is fighting for the divine laws of the gods, Prudencia, which is prudence, which is balance, which is temperance, so one of the cardinal virtues, and Memnosine, which is remembering, the muse of remembering. We need to remember stuff which we forgot, but which we used to know, And on the IC and Saturn, you have Spartacus and Karma, the same thing that happened, that was there a couple of days ago. The Lord of Karma is linked to Karma. So these are very karmic times. So the new karma is being built constantly. And Spartacus denotes, of course, he was the one of the figures who revolted against slavery. And of course, he was executed on the cross. And it represents a way of attitude when I can no longer tolerate my situation, and I know I might die, but I still need to revolt because I can't stay in the situation any longer. So it's quite powerful, I think. On Pallas Athena, you have Adonis and Pan. Adonis is a beautiful youth, so you have beauty and wisdom together, and Pan is everything together. But it's also the word Pan is what our word panic comes from. So it could mean huge energies because of panicking, and then it gives you drive, but also it can also encompass everything, the whole world, so to speak. On Saturn, I have Justitia, justice, another cardinal virtue, more somnus, which is a TNO, and it represents death and sleep. Hypnos and Thanatos in Greek mythology, and more somnus is about the pandemic. Actually, it was very, very prominent during the pandemic, and now it is prominent again because it is conjunct Sedna, and the Pleiades, which will be there. The Sedna is going to be conjunct the Pleiades, all stars or some of the stars of the Pleiades for the next 1 year at least. And then on dark moon, you have Epimetheus, who is actually the brother of Prometheus, the one who knows after. Epimetheus describes thought processes when something happens and then you sit down and analyze the issue. And Okiro, who is the daughter of Chariklo and Chiron. And Chiron, of course, is a centaur. Chariklo is originally a nymph, but she falls in love with Chiron and turns herself deliberately into the first female centaur. So she transforms herself for the sake of a loved one. And Okiro transforms herself for the sake of herself. She inherits both parents' unique abilities. She's an oracle, and she constantly births out things that she is not supposed to, and the fates are constantly punishing her, and she gets so fed up that she transforms herself into a horse and doesn't speak anymore and goes away and lives the life of a horse. So this represents stuff which I know, which I could say, but I know that I will be punished for it. And instead of uttering it, I shut up and I hide my abilities and capacities. That's on dark moon. And Shead, which is the healing word for suicide victims. So that's the space-time moment. It's very unique. It's very delicate. The fact that the sun is exactly opposite Eris is showing us that we can actually highlight the chaos that are programmed for us, being under programming. Let's put it this way, because they will continue this. The focus has shifted from Ukraine to the Middle East. This now will be the main theme, the main topic, until the next fiery situation will be programmed again. I think it will be Taiwan. So the next stage of this program chaos, when the Israeli-Hamas war is fading, it will be it's already the brewing, and this is what they are trying to do. They are trying to cause panic, fear, aggression, anger, and I always say be careful, because anger and fear are the lowest vibrational emotions, and this is the easiest way to trigger all sorts of things. So stay safe, stay with your loved ones, and pay attention to what is happening around you. Thank you for listening. Bye-bye.